Hey everybody, Jason here. I got my buddy Brandon here. He club races with me quite a bit here in California. And I'm always giving you guys my opinions on cars and setups and all that crap. And I thought maybe it'd be nice to interview somebody else or just bring somebody else on and let them share their opinion with you. So I'm definitely no professional host, and I've never really interviewed anybody like in a professional manner or anything like that. So I just figured I'd come have a conversation with Brandon here and easy. Anyways, I just thought I'd come have a conversation with one of my buddies. We argue all the time in the pits, and just let you guys see what you think. That's it. So anyways, let's get after it, and here we go. All right, bro. You ready to talk about, what do you want to talk about, the Serpent?
Yeah.
All right, so you had the B5.
Had.
You loved the B5.
It was good.
You spent about $10,000 on that B5. How much, all kidding aside, how much money did you blow on that thing before you went down to the stock Nats? Like, what did you put into that? Like, just like, give me a rundown of some of the parts.
Let's see. Titanium turnbuckles, cut gears, puck system, pretty much anything to lighten it. We did titanium screw kit.
But didn't you end up putting a bunch of brass in there? Or just in the back?
No, I put the brass hinge pin holders in the back.
So, end of the day, with all the titanium stuff, pucks, all that, what did that thing cost you just for the roller?
Probably like $700 at least.
And how did you do down there?
Where?
That's what I thought.
I think I participated. They didn't give any ribbons out for that.
Okay. Anyways, so what changed your mind? Obviously, I decided to try out the Serpent Mid Motor car because all my buddies in Illinois loved it, and I wanted to try it out. So, besides the fact that I decided I was going to buy one, why did you decide to try one?
I saw the Serpents run at OCRC. Quite frankly, they looked awesome. Nobody ran them up here in Bakersfield. I just, after you bought yours, I figured, well, there's support. We help each other out. So I figured, well, I'll spend the money. I'll buy it. I still got my B5s. They're for sale. But
you can't be making pitches in the middle of a video. Okay, anyways. So
hit me up on Facebook. I don't have a RC Tech, but see.
You are an eBay ninja, though.
I am an eBay ninja. So if you guys want anything sold.
Anyways, okay. So what do you think of the durability? Has been a concern. Obviously, people have been breaking chassis and all that stuff. Now, I know when you got your kit didn't come with the newest, thickest, the chassis with the thickest kick plate.
No. It's supposed to have, was it a number on the top plate, supposed to say number 3 or
yeah, revision like 3.
And then a 4 mil thick chassis on the front. And no, mine's the original, but durability, I haven't had a problem with it. And
I'm just here to tell you, Brandon doesn't always make the safe decision. When you're going to jump the triple and the car is still loaded up and not going to go straight, you probably shouldn't pull the trigger. Yeah, you probably shouldn't pull the trigger. I know you like to do that, but honestly, it hasn't broke though, so which is cool. So, other than that, we both had problems with the steering rack coming loose.
Yes. But
we ended up. Did you end up doing rubbing alcohol, or how did you end up fixing yours?
I took actually just some alcohol or Simple Green, cleaned up all the bolts, also the race that goes through the center of the rack. And then Loctited everything back up. Yeah,
I just did the same thing. I just took a little bit of rubbing alcohol, cleaned all the oil off the screws, and then used a little bit of. I did it the first time I did it. I ended up taking the rack apart, putting some blue Loctite on, and it just came loose again within like 2 or 3 batteries, and I was pretty bummed. But then I ended up just taking some rubbing alcohol, spraying it down, and using a little bit of red Loctite, just a little bit. And my rack is absolutely, it's no more play, no more messing around. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So if your rack is coming loose or anything like that, you may want to clean all the machine oil off the screws before you put it back together. So.
Yep.
Now, you know that I'm like, I hate the ball cups or the ball studs. I'm not a fan of that stuff. What do you, I mean, you still got them on there. I mean, you're going to keep them? You're going to jump? What's the plan?
They're not bad. I like the fact that if you do get a crazy crash, you're not going to pop a ball cup off that's going to cause you to not finish. So you could still finish a race, but just using socket head to get that ball stud in is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is a pain in the butt. But you know what? It's like you said, the lesser of two evils. They're not going to break or come off, but if you want to adjust them, especially if you're you probably shouldn't be. We probably shouldn't be doing last minute adjustments. But if you're going to do a last minute adjustment, it's a heck of a lot easier if you have a system with a hole in the ball cup and an actual ball sub that has a hex. You know, you can use a hex driver on. So, all right. So the build went good for you and all that stuff. Anything you can remember that's an issue?
No problems on build, just issues on the rack at first, not knowing to clean everything up before we bolted it up. Had some machining oil on it, so.
All right, so other than that, okay, so I guess we talked about just, you know, durability, the chassis stuff's good.
Yep.
You know, which, by the way, we both had some pretty gnarly crashes. Just like, you know, you get out there and you start acting stupid. You know, I was trying to run them off the track the other day and, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's actually a lot more durable than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I honestly, I for all the shenanigans, I expected something to be broke by now.
Should have.
And I honestly wouldn't have been pissed if it was because of some of the stuff we've done, you know?
We earned them.
Yeah, we jump them off the track and catch them instead of actually pulling off the track. We do some stupid stuff, but that's what RC's for. It's, you know, we want to go fast. At the end of the day, we really want to go. We're trying to go fast and race these cars to like the absolute edge of our ability, but you should be having fun. So if you're not having fun, that's, you know, that's an issue. So now you're running saddles or?
Saddles.
All right, and so, yeah, you hadn't, now my car has a lot more steering than yours. I'm convinced that some of it's the inserts, but what did you think? The car lands really good with a shorty battery.
It lands really good with the shorty, tons of steering. I know your insert's a lot more blown out than mine, so you're gonna get a lot more grip.
Yeah.
But I am running open cells on mine with dirt webs. And so I have steering, but I think running the saddles compared to the shorty, you got a lot more rear grip and it little push, but
it's easier to drive.
A lot easier to drive. Today
when we were goofing off, when it would dry up, I had a hard time like catching it. The only spot that I had to clear advantage was the triple.
Yeah.
And the straightaway. But other than that, like all the rounded corners and the tight switchbacks and stuff, I really had a hard time. Like it was kind of like a push. I wasn't making up any ground and you weren't really pulling away, but it wasn't until we got into the fast spots, like the spots where you actually could use the motor that I actually had an advantage.
Yep.
So overall, obviously we barely have any parts for these things because we just bought the kits like idiots and really didn't buy a bunch of backup stuff. But so far, are you happy with your Serpent car?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I mean, any gripes? If there's anything you could change about it or anything you could change in general, would you?
No, I like the composite chassis. The flex in it is awesome. It helps. You know, the B5M was nice having the low center of gravity on there, but for this buggy here, the rear bite and forward bite is unmatched. It doesn't even compare to the B5M. It's so much better. So
I truly believe that a lot of the ability, any of these cars can be tuned to be competitive.
Yep.
But I think that each car, just on the way it's engineered, is going to have a little bit of its own personality. Mm-hmm. The way it steers in, you know, some of them are going to be a little bit more. Like kind of like the B5 rear motor car. That car had like a monster on power push.
Yep.
But I mean, obviously, if you're on a low bite surface, that's probably exactly what you'd want, right?
Yeah.
But all these cars are going to have their own personality, and we've got guys that come up and Kevin Motter came up and mopped the floor with everybody at the last JVRL with his B5M. So the B5M is clearly a good, viable, nice platform. But at the end of the day, I think out of the box. I think you just get more out of the box.
I think out of the box, even the box stock setup was on point for what we had for our track and conditions.
When the misters go off and the track's got the track's sticky, the box setup is close.
Yeah.
One thing that I think I should touch on is one clear advantage the Serpent has is that when you buy the car, you don't have to go out and buy new rear arms and new front arms and a new shock tower and. You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing that's good about it too is all the hop-up parts, the tunability parts that you're buying for your B5M, it comes standard with the Serpent.
Right.
So all the pills, the inserts, all that kind of stuff, you're not paying for it. You know, the aluminum hinge pin brace on the rear, stock. You don't have to pay for it.
Bonus.
Winning.
Winning. Anyways. All right, so I guess is there anything else we should talk about, or is that pretty much it? I mean,
definitely.
Well, I got one downside though. Those Serpent aftermarket parts are not cheap.
No. So if you want to compete against the $700 B5M rollers, you could do it.
Yeah, you could spend a truckload of money. I mean, the rack alone, and don't get me wrong, I have the Kyosho car, and that car is like, you know, they're awfully proud of their stuff. But even the Serpent rack, was it 55 or 60 bucks or something like that?
Yeah. Somewhere around
like that. And yeah, anyways,
hubs are like 50, 60 bucks. The steering block and the front's 50 bucks, 60 bucks.
I mean, it's not cheap. I don't know if the stuff's made by X-Ray or Hoodie or whoever, but all I know is the Serpent stuff seems to be really high quality. We've been pretty happy just running our cars, goofing off, and I'm probably going to hang on to this. I'm definitely going to be running this car down at Hot Rod here the next couple of weeks. So
the one thing, too, is pistons.
Oh, yeah.
Stock pistons in the kit. They could be a lot better. You know, we took them off, tried to put it in the shock, and you couldn't even put it in the shock. It had so much flashing on the outer ring.
Yours did?
Yeah.
You know, actually, maybe mine did have a lot of. I don't really remember. I always, you know how I am with a Dremel and a razor knife.
No, I didn't.
All right, my bad. I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
But no, I would definitely say upgrade to some machine pistons. Serpent makes some. I believe Rocket RC makes some. Associateds don't work, so if you got a stockpile of those, sell them with your buggy when you sell it.
But if you have a stockpile, did you just tell these people to sell their stockpile of machine pistons? If you have a bunch of pistons, sell it. Anyways, all right. So,
but yeah, I got some new pistons. I'm gonna mount up for them all for Saturday and Sunday. We got a couple of races we're gonna do. So,
now what size holes are in those pistons?
Oh, there's another thing for you guys. Very confusing at first, but kind of a cool idea. Conical pistons from Serpent sell in 2-hole, 3-hole, and 4-hole, but they sell in a 1.1 by 2, 1.1 by 3, and 1.1 by 4. So make sure you get drill bit the size you need, and then hit up Jason for his.
No, Jason's not printing a bunch of those out.
But
if you live here in town, you're welcome to come use my piston drilling jig, but but if not, anyways.
But yeah, it comes as 1.1 holes. So
yeah, so all the pistons that come directly from Serpent, instead of making an army of different pistons, they just basically send you a machine piston with a 1.1 millimeter hole, and then you do what you want to do. You drill them, you hand drill them or finish them. They're kind of like, I guess they're almost done. They're machined, but the holes are not really to the size you'd probably use. So definitely look for like a small pin vise and a couple of drill bits from A-Main. I'm sure you could probably pick it all up for 10 or 12 bucks. And then in the future, if you need to drill pistons, you already have the stuff.
And they do come tapered. I didn't see an option for flat machined.
They didn't have flat ones?
No, I think the only option is the conical. They're straight tapered on one side. In
Serpent's defense, my car actually has the stock pistons. I do remember that a couple of them were really tight in the bore now that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember if I just I think what I actually do is I remember this clearly now. It's funny now that you brought this up, I remember this. I actually took the whole shock shaft, I mounted everything up, put the whole shock shaft in a drill, and I had like these little files, and I actually just spun a drill with this little file and worked it back and forth until I had a really even, clean surface, and it fit right into the bore really well. So I remember I didn't have to do all that, which was a pain in the butt, but yeah, the car does handle good. So I think that's probably about it. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Captain Serpent over here, or what?
Nope.
All right, well then, thanks for watching, you guys. That's our opinion, or I guess it's Brandon's opinion with some commentary from me or some rant and raving from me about the Serpent SRX2 mid motor buggy. And we appreciate you guys watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.
AKA Mad Skills.
Hey, by the way, before you leave, I just want to say thanks again for watching my videos. I only make these videos so that we can have fun together. By the way, you'd be doing me a big favor if you could either comment, like, or even better, subscribe to my channel. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.